Did you know the first black woman to earn a pilot's license had to move to France because no American flight school would accept her? She wasn't just the first African American and Native American woman to fly a plane. She soared above racism, poverty, and doubt to change aviation history forever. This is the fearless story of Bessie Coleman. Stay with us, because this isn't just a story about flying. It's about breaking boundaries, chasing impossible dreams, and building a legacy that still inspires today. In this video, you'll discover how Bessie beat the odds to become a world-class pilot, the racism and sexism she defied, her glamorous lifestyle and tragic death, and the hidden parts of her story that history books left out. Let's dive into the life of Queen Bess. Bessie Coleman was born on January 26, 1892, in Atlanta, Texas. She was the 10th of 13 children. Her father was of Native American Cherokee heritage, and her mother was African American. Her family worked as sharecroppers, barely making ends meet. Bessie walked 4 miles every day to attend a segregated school. From an early age, she was curious, determined, and unshakably ambitious. She loved reading, especially about science and the world beyond her small town. When her father left the family and moved to Oklahoma, Bessie stayed behind with her mother and siblings, working hard and dreaming big. Even with limited access to education, she stood out as someone meant for more. In her early 20s, Bessie moved to Chicago, where her brothers worked as barbers. She worked as a manicurist and listened to their stories about World War I and the brave pilots overseas. That's when her dream took flight. But every American flight school rejected her because she was black and a woman. So she taught herself French, saved up money, and took a leap few would dare. She applied to flight school in France. In 1921, she earned her international pilot's license from the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, making her the first black woman and the first Native American woman in the world to do so. Her journey didn't just require courage. It required leaving the country to chase a dream no one thought she deserved. When she returned to the U.S., Bessie didn't just fly planes. She lit up the skies. She performed daring stunts at airshows, diving, looping, and flying figure eights, all at a time when flying was still dangerously new. Audiences were amazed. She became known as Queen Bess. But she wasn't just performing for applause. She was using her fame to challenge racism. She refused to perform at any event that excluded black people from the audience. With every flight, she made a bold statement. Black women belong in the skies. She became a national icon, delivering speeches, inspiring youth, and showing the world what courage looked like in the cockpit. Bessie's rise wasn't smooth. She was celebrated by many, but blocked by the very systems she sought to change. Mainstream sponsors ignored her. White-owned newspapers barely covered her. Despite her fame, she struggled to find steady work and faced constant danger in poorly maintained aircraft. She was denied entry to hotels and restaurants. Sometimes she had to sleep in her car between shows. But through it all, she never stopped flying. She was determined to open a flight school for black students, so no one else would have to leave their country to learn to fly. She faced rejection at every level, but never stopped soaring. Off the runway, Bessie Coleman lived life boldly. She loved fashion, elegant clothes, and expensive hats. Her style was a blend of confidence and grace. She traveled constantly for speaking events and flight shows, often sleeping in small guest rooms or in her car. She was independent, financially savvy, and proudly single. Determined to build a life on her own terms. Despite limited income, she gave what she could to causes she believed in. To her, Flying wasn't about fame, it was about freedom. On April 30th, 1926, Bessie was preparing for an air show in Jacksonville, Florida. While riding as a passenger during a practice flight, her co-pilot lost control of the plane. Bessie wasn't wearing a seatbelt. She fell more than 2,000 feet to her death. She was only 34 years old. More than 10,000 people attended her funeral. But her legacy didn't die. Black aviators and aviation clubs were founded in her honor. Streets and schools were named after her. In 1995, the U.S. Postal Service issued a stamp with her image. She became a symbol not just for pilots, but for every dreamer told no. Bessie Coleman never built a fortune, but she built something far more powerful. She lived modestly, traveling wherever she could perform or speak. She didn't own a mansion or luxury car. What she earned, she used to fund her flying and promote aviation among black youth. Her dream was to open a flight school, a dream she never lived to see, but one that came true because of her influence. Her wealth wasn't measured in dollars. It was measured in lives changed, minds opened, and ceilings shattered. Today, Bessie's name lives on in more ways than one. Black women pilots around the world call her their hero. American Airlines once honored her with the first all-black female flight crew in her memory. Chicago's O'Hare International Airport renamed a street, Bessie Coleman Drive. Aerospace clubs for black youth carry her name, teaching kids to fly, something Bessie never got to do herself. Every time a black girl steps into a cockpit, part of Bessie's dream takes off again. Bessie Coleman didn't just change aviation. She challenged a world that said women like her didn't belong in the sky, and proved them wrong. Her wings were built from courage, and her legacy flies higher than ever. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below with what inspired you most about Bessie's story. And if you want more untold Black history stories, Black history isn't just about the past. It's about the future we're building together. Keep flying.